Have Mantic just made the boldest move ever or the biggest mistake ever? Find out now by watching this. Recently, Mantic Games did something I didn't think I'd see anytime soon from one of the bigger games companies. They launched Mantic Vault, a subscription-based platform where you can download official STL files for models, terrain, and upgrade parts for Mantic's range of miniatures and games that you can print at home on your 3D printer. We'll get onto how much it costs and what's included in your subscription soon, but first I want to explain why this is a bit of a surprise to me, and why it could either be the boldest move that Mantic have ever done, or the stupidest thing. Miniatures companies like Mantic make their money from selling miniatures. They create games that then have an ever-expanding line of collectible miniatures by which you can then buy, build and paint to play the games that Mantic make. Think along the lines of companies like Games Workshop, Corvus Belli, Weird Games and Atomic Mass Games. They make games that people want to play, but the constant release model of new minis, new armies, expansions, etc. is where the money is made. Now compare this to someone like One Page Rules, who don't sell any miniatures. They make their money from getting as many people as possible to subscribe to their monthly Patreon, where for your support you get STL files that you can then print at home as many times as you like and create the army lists from One Page Rules' own games. Or you can use them as alternative minis in other games such as Warhammer 40,000. Each month there are additional units for existing armies or maybe new factions for you to add to your collection. Now why are these two things different, you may be asking? Well, the big difference between them is a little matter of retail stores. One Page Rules can bypass the manufacturing, the shipping and distribution and third-party retailers and sell directly to consumers. Mantic, on the other hand, have traditionally had their miniatures either made overseas in plastic and PVC and then some of it in-house in resin. They then have international shipping charges, they cut their margins to factor in distributors and retail stores, and they have to pay for packaging, packaging design and warehousing. They also need to have sales forecasts to understand how much of each product to make. STL files don't need any of these. Now on the one hand it may seem like a great move. Consumers get to buy the STLs, print as many copies of each model as many times as they like, Mantic get to keep 100% of the money spent, and the whole process is fast and cheaper for the consumer. The question in this instance is, as the first major miniatures company to do this, do they risk alienating the third-party retailers who sell their current range of miniatures? There are currently stores who sell the Armada range of resin ships. Going forward, those ships will be STL files available through Mantic's Vault for people to print at home. No longer will you need to purchase that stuff from your friendly local gaming store. If you want 5 bomb boats, for example, you just print off 5 bomb boats rather than buying the required number of boxes. Great for the consumer, not so great for the store. Now this may lead to those stores deciding to not want to support Mantic's range for fear that at some point the stock they have on their shelf will become an STL file that everyone just prints multiple copies of at home. There's a real worry to me that having a foot in both camps of trying to sell miniatures through retailers whilst also offering STL files direct to consumers might just ruffle a few feathers. Another concern for me is, what are the long-term plans for the Vault? At the moment, there's a lot of value in what you get with the Armada ships, the upgrade parts, and the minis. However, over time, when there's no more Armada ships to add in to bulk up the offering each month, what can Mantic add to keep up the value proposition without giving away files for models that they want to sell in plastic? Now, unlike One Page Rules and the other STL subscriptions, I can't really see them expanding by adding new units and factions to their existing games, as this will very quickly bloat the games that they have and alienate those who don't have access to 3D printing. If they start releasing files for models that they make in plastic, for your main units for example, then that does feel a little like killing off the business model of being a miniatures company and just fully moving over to being an STL subscription service. Now, there's a lot of reasons that this could happen, as the overheads to run an STL subscription model versus a retail miniatures company are vastly different. However, again, the foot in both camps feels like a risky one. Now, it's not all worrying news. I've downloaded and printed off the 2 free files that they have just to check out the offering, and I have to say that they printed off super crisp and the quality is fantastic, even on my relatively old 2K resin printer. The files come unsupported, which may be a worry for beginners to 3D printing. However, even I managed to do it through some auto supports and some visual checks. If folks are interested, I'll make a video showing the process for those new to the 3D world. I think the current package of what's in the first month's release is amazing value at £7.99 per month, which is the early bird discount. And if you're already a subscriber to the Mantic Companion, which has rules, stats, army builders and a host of other stuff, the upgrade cost to include the vault can be as little as an extra £3.99 per month. Now in this first month, you get ships for Armada for both the Basileans and the Orcs, plus a lot of upgrade parts and models which complement the Rift-Forged Orcs and Halflings from the Storm in the Shire's box for Kings of War. Now releasing these files might bring in some new players to games like Armada from the 3D printing enthusiasts who want to print out those ships now that they have easy access to the models needed. It might get more folks playing, even if it doesn't necessarily get more folks spending. Now I'm going to watch this with real interest to see what the future holds. I applaud Mantic Games for doing something different, for trying to move with the changes in the industry and adapt to new technology in the hands of their customers. That said, only time will tell if this is a revolution in how we grow our range of miniatures from Mantic Games, or an alienation of those who sell Mantic minis and those who don't have access to 3D printing. Sometimes trying to please everyone can lead to actually pleasing no one.